So when you're building a company, everything changes as time goes along, and we are at a phase in our change in our company where things need to change in a good way. No sound. Somebody's telling me they can't hear me. Everyone else could hear me, Erica. Okay, so Lisa can hear. So this is a not a me problem this time. This is a you problem. So I got it right for once. So we're pretty excited about what's going to happen. For the last year or so, and listen, things aren't perfect, but over the next 30 days, you're going to see an increase in acceleration. You're going to see an increase in marketing. I know a lot of times that I've been wanting to do these things and I've been wanting to make some changes and move things around, but I wanted to make sure it was done in the right way. One of the things that I have done in the past and I will never do again is let myself get bullied here and there. And I know it's hard to believe I get bullied, but every now and then it's like I would let things happen that I wasn't the most comfortable with, and then I would watch people ruin things. And it's happened with a couple of different things in my life, and I vowed that it was not going to happen with Revo. And so I have run CEO. I've done all kinds of different, hats around the company until I found the right person that I wanted to bring in to replace me. And I wanted to bring someone in that I trusted. I wanted to bring someone in that I knew would put their heart and soul into it. I knew and watched how they've done things. And so I'm going to bring that person on in just a minute. But the reason why we're making a change and I'm firing myself, it's nice that I'm firing myself and nobody else. But when I say firing myself, I'm only firing myself from the title of CEO because now my goal is to turn all my time and attention into 100% helping you guys, if you want to build your teams, to build your cities, to get more rides going, to get, all the aspects of getting us, the insurance done, everything else. And let me give you an update before I move on to this last part. We have been working on Vegas very, very hard. We had to deal with some challenges coming out of Vegas, but I was actually on a call with the Transportation Commission last week as I was getting on a flight, and we ended up having to pay a little bit of a fine but because of how much time and effort I spent on working with the Attorney General and the people in the state of Nevada who were very nice, very helpful with me, we would have had a $21,000 fine as we were getting prepared to submit our application, but they knocked that down to 20 or to 3,000, suspending $18,000 of that transportation fine. And listen, the cost of doing business, I knew it was going to come, but what it does is it puts us on a great track to right now. The only thing that we are waiting to finish up getting our applications done for about 4 or 5 different cities is the insurance package of things. So we're working on that. I promise you it's coming, but it's getting better every single day. And I'm excited for Vegas to be back online. I know they are as well, but we're also going to make sure that we do this right so that when we do go, it just blows up bigger than anything you've ever seen. But we are getting a lot of data. We're getting a lot of things that we're seeing, the trends that I tell you guys about all the time. And it's funny because I have people that come to me with different ideas all the time. And I will tell you, if you start getting off track of what your fundamental core values are, a lot of times you go in the wrong direction. And so I don't care what you think about Donald Trump. I don't care what you think about it politics. But if you watch on a marketing standpoint, he had a very clear and concise message that make America great again. I mean, he won a full on presidential election with hundreds of millions of people involved. And it was because he stayed true to his core message. And our core message is our clients pay less, our drivers make more, and every time someone does a ride, someone gets a reward. Those rewards are going to be backdated. They're going to come within the next 90 days. Come hell or high water, I will make sure that that happens. But the other two aspects are the ones that we can control the most. And I want us to be laser focused on what is going on in Kansas City. The one thing I love about Mark and Erica is they haven't got cocky or arrogant. They just keep doing exactly what they're doing every single day, bringing in customers, and they do it by getting a driver, which is themselves in the first place, and then they bring in new people and they get clients and they get those clients. And once those clients become clients, they do the rides over and over and over. So we're going to start putting out all kinds of stories, messaging. I've been using AI. We're going to be doing videos. Everything is going to be focused on what our core values are, and that is a driver, gets new customers, and guess what? That driver gets paid over and over and over and over. And it's not about going out and doing advertising. I had people the other day go, "Well, I don't know why you weren't. Why don't you just go do a bunch of advertising?" Because if I go do a bunch of advertising and spend a bunch of money on that, which as we grow, we can do a little bit of that. But our core values are our drivers get customers, and it's working. It's exactly what we said in the beginning, but we've got to say it over and over and over. And it's got to be a clear and concise message. And we keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Successful people get successful because they're disciplined, because they do the same thing over and 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 over. So that's what I'm telling you guys we're going to do. That's our updates on some of the things that are going on. But I have spent, I feel like I know grooming is a bad word, but I feel like I've been grooming this person to take over one of the companies that I was going to put together for the last however many years. And listen, I there's some amazing people in certain spots. You got James DeVries, which is our CTO, which he's amazing and he's working extremely hard. We're going to start pumping more money into the development side of things very, very quickly. You've had Evelyn, she's our COO, and Evelyn is an amazing person. But a lot of times I got to make sure that the right people are going to be able to work with each other in the right spots. And so I have not brought in a CEO, even though I know that that's not my forte. I can do it, but I don't want to. My forte is building relationships. My forte is building, my strengths come from building teams of people, helping manage people, helping motivate people, and expanding the company and the vision of what we have. But when I get convoluted and I get drugged down into the minutia, I'm not as good as what I should be. And so I started I started thinking about this about 3 months ago, and I've been watching how involved they were. And I will just tell you this: Pedro, I'm going to announce him as our CEO in just a minute. But I just want you to tell you his background. If you're with us here in Florida, you'll understand who he is to me and who he is to our company, because Pedro came to the U.S. when he was 17 years old, 16 or 17. I He came into an office that I ran, and we owned a mortgage company at the time. He didn't speak English very well. He was, from Ecuador. He was on a student visa, and because of the way our laws work, you couldn't technically work if you had a student visa. And so he was motivated. He wanted to take care of his family and all these different things. And so he at that time was out actually I found out that every weekend he would go to Home Depot on a Thursday, get a piece of plywood and cut it. If you look at our screen right now, you see how this is divided into the different names. He would take a piece of plywood, cut it into six different, three across or whatever. So you get like 9 pieces of a sign. He would take paint by hand and write car wash. I think it was $25 at that point. And he would mobily come to your house, and he would take those signs and put them up. And he had to do this thing every weekend because they would tear the signs down. And he didn't have the money to go out and get them, multi mass produced or any of that kind of stuff. But he came in and he said he really wanted to work. I needed somebody who spoke Spanish. So we made it work. And from that time, 15, 16 years ago until today, I have watched Pedro progress and build businesses and go out and do it on his own and have failures and have, things that didn't work right, and took companies that he grew too fast, and he learned it on his own. I may have helped teach him some of this stuff, but he's one of those people that he finds ways over, through, and around problems and challenges. But he's got a lot of things and tech qualities that I don't. And so last week, it's funny, I got on AI. He and I were going to go out before I left town. And I had AI explain to him that he was going to be the new CEO of REVO. And so I am bringing Pedro on, naming him Pedro. If you want to turn on your camera and your mic, you can do that now. But I'm very, very excited because I know exactly how seriously he takes things. When he's on something, he goes after it. He's bilingual. He's one of the best people I've ever met. He's my actual best friend, I think, on the face of the earth. I'm not like girls. I don't tell people I have 10 best friends. I usually have one. I'd say some of my people are my best friends, but Pedro is one of those people who is, even in the last 4 or 5 days, I've watched a shift in how he's doing things with REVO. He's up, he's on top of it. He's going to be able to bring people together in a way that I can't. He is a lot more diplomatic than I am. And I watched him go through a negotiation and help me close a deal on something else we were working on. And it just struck me that there's no better person to take us over the next year. So now it's time for us to go in a big way. So you'll still see me a ton. I'll be more involved with the field. You guys, you got calls you want me to do. But when it comes to the technical aspects, Evelyn and Pedro are a great team working together to help take us to the new future with along with James and Evelyn and Lisa and Jeannie. And we're just really excited. So Pedro, I just wanted you to share a little bit about your excitement and what you think we're going to be doing over the next year. And then I'm hanging up because I just fired myself.
Thank you very much. And as much as you say you're going to be retired, you're not. We're all going to be working together, getting Revo to the next level. I'm just excited to be part of the team as a CEO with all of you guys, working with all the drivers, working with Evelyn, Lisa, Jean, James. One of the things we're going to be doing is we're really going to be getting the app to where it needs to be, so it's like top notch, and everybody, we can start scaling this thing. We're going to be getting a lot more rides every day. My goal is to, as much as like right now, our motto is like all the drivers, they get customers and the customers get repeat rides. My goal is every single driver in this company to turn on the app and then just rides just start pouring in. I'm going to be dissecting, which is what I've been doing. I told you I've been doing this for the past 4 or 5 days, just dissecting every analyticals that comes in, new customers that come in, drivers, and every issue that we have on the app that needs to get fixed, so I can start just doing my best to scale this thing. So I'm excited to be part of Revo as a CEO, and I couldn't thank you. Um, your words are very kind. So I
So
really,
don't you tell them a little bit about our background so they know how you and I, worked together over the years, and it's not just a first time thing that you
yeah,
and I have done so many
I met
different
Paul.
things.
I met Paul when I was 17 or 16. I think I worked at a mortgage company with him. He brought me in. Actually, I went in and I asked him for a job, and he took the chance. At the time, I wasn't able to work with my student visa, but he still hired me. He trained me on sales. I started to do a lot of loans, and then after that, and this is when I think it really started, when he thought things weren't fair with him. He just walked away, and even though it was my first job in America, I walked away as well. And we started doing mortgages off of his patio, and it was 2008 when the banks were crushing, and as much as we were putting all our energy in it, it wasn't working because the industry wasn't there anymore at the time. So then we became really good friends. That didn't work. He started doing other businesses, and then I started washing cars, and we just kind of reconnected, and then it went from there. Then we did a whole bunch of
We
different.
went to the gold business. You and I helped build that gold business all over the world.
That is true.
Then
We travel. I mean, I travel with him, and then I was going to school Monday to Thursday. I was traveling Thursday to Sunday, and then doing it all back every week. We were buying hundreds of thousands of gold every week, and just really good stories we have together. So as much as you guys
the
think
biggest thing I think that I want people to understand is that you have my values. Like you and I have been around each other so long. I know how loyal you are, but I also know that you know that it doesn't matter about me as much. It matters about what we do for people in the field.
exactly
And that's one of the things I don't think people get. Like and I mean, and I think people need to understand too is you and I are partners. I started Revo with you, but
right,
you were busy doing your other businesses and things like that. But you've always helped behind the scenes.
yeah,
And for the last 4 or 5 months, he's been really more involved. And guess what? He hasn't got paid a dime for it. And that's one of the biggest things I think people need to understand is like, this is not about money for us. The money will come as time goes along, but this is about truly building a revolution and truly doing something. And that's where I get to go back to now is like I'm the best at building a vision, and I'm excited about being able to go back and start sharing with people. Like I spent a couple calls last week on the phone for over an hour with one driver up in Nebraska and sharing the vision, and that's what I'm the best at. But when my attention's divided of going, okay, I got to worry about the app today, or I got to worry about the financial stuff, or I got to worry about this, or I got to worry about that. Now I get to go back to having fun. And when I get to have fun, watch out, because now I get to go and build those relationships with people. So I'm not going anywhere. I don't get paid anyway, so I don't know what firing myself does any good. But I'll just tell you, Pedro's got that fire inside of him, and that he wants to go out and build a multi-billion-dollar company. And I feel like I've set this up to now he, Evelyn, Lisa, Jeannie, and James can go out and realize the dream that we all started a year or so ago. So, is there anything else you want to share?
No, just excited to be in as a CEO, and then I'm just thankful of you doing this and letting me put all my abilities, my ethics, and everything we both together developed through the years to work so we can take Revo to the next level.
Awesome. All right, guys, I'm not going to take you any longer. I'm excited about this. Pedro will start doing these on Monday. I'll drop in, but I'm really going to start working on the training part of things, the marketing part of things, and putting together things that I know are going to really help you guys. And I'm just telling you the story of Kansas City. And listen, I've met with some people over the last week or so that have given me some ideas. We're going to really, really, really take that story of Kansas City and what they've done there. And every single one of us should be telling the story of, listen, they're getting rides. They're doing 81% of their rides in Kansas City are repeat rides. But on the daily, if they're adding new customers every single day and getting those repeat rides, do you understand where in 6 to 9 months, if you keep consistently getting new riders in, new drivers in, and getting them to do the same thing, it's not hard. Like, this is not rocket science. We get them in, we get them excited, we get the rates right. And as time goes along, you just keep doing the same thing. And then you hit a point where we're going to hit that in the next 90 days. So now is the time to be involved. All right, guys, I'll let you all go. I appreciate it. Thanks, Pedro. It's your show now. You better not mess it up. I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.